two companions were lost, Merry and Pippin. Frodo and Sam continued their perilous journey to Mordor. But in the distance, a great hope rekindled. Gandalf was returning. Gandalf the White. The scouring of the Shire by Saruman's forces nearly broke the free peoples of Middle-earth. Merry and Pippin escaped into Fangorn Forest, where Treebeard, one of the oldest and wisest of the Ents or tree shepherds, made his home. Meanwhile, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli found Gandalf in the misty woods of Isengard. His robes were white as snow, and his staff shone like a beacon of light. Round them, the forest floor glittered with white flowers, a sign of Gandalf's return. And in the distance, the riders of Rohan prepared their horses for battle. Gandalf, Legolas, and Gimli rode together toward the east, where the dark cloud of Saruman's menace hung over the land. They urged their horses to greater speed, for time was short, and the fate of Rohan and perhaps all of Middle-earth hung in the balance. But what news did Gandalf bring? What hope had returned? Deep in the Fangorn Forest, Merry and Pippin sat before Treebeard. The two young hobbits told the tale of their perilous journey and the terrible threat that loomed over the Shire and all of Middle-earth. Treebeard listened patiently. His ancient eyes filled with wisdom and sorrow. Finally, he spoke in a voice like the rustling of leaves. "Much has changed since I last walked in daylight," he said, "and much has come to pass since I last heeded the call of the wild." But as the three hunters rode through the forest paths, the trees seemed to stir and whisper among themselves. Their branches reached out to touch Gandalf's passing, as if in greeting or farewell. And as he walked among them, the trees hummed with a deep, resonant sound that echoed through the forest. Treebeard and the other Ents listened to the hobbits. Soon, the forest would march to war. The Ents, awakened by the threat to Fangorn and stirred by Merry and Pippin's tales, prepared to join the fight against Saruman. With newfound urgency, Gandalf pressed on toward Rohan, where the king had been trapped under Saruman's spell. In the plains of Rohan, King Theoden rode with his people, but his mind was clouded by Saruman's fell sorcery. Theoden's nephew, the young warrior, Iamor, watched his king with growing alarm. Theoden's horse snorted and pawed the ground, sensing the danger that lay ahead. As the sun began its slow descent, casting long shadows across the land, the Rohirrim prepared for battle. The air grew thick with anticipation as the riders donned their helmets and tightened their straps. Their faces grim, they knew that a great darkness threatened their homeland, and they were its shield. Suddenly, a distant horn sounded, echoing across the plains. All eyes turned toward the source of the music, and there they saw a riderless horse thundering toward them, a white plume streaming from its back. Upon its approach, they could see it was Gandalf, his white staff held high. With him rode Legolas and Gimli, their faces grave but determined. Gandalf raised his staff and with a mighty voice cried, "Aid us, O men of the West, for our foes are many and our need is great." Theoden looked up, his cloudy gaze clearing for a moment. He saw in Gandalf's eyes the truth of his words and knew that the time had come to take a stand. And so the men of Rohan rallied, their spirits lifted by Gandalf's inspiring call. They rode out to meet their fate, ready to defend their homes and loved ones from the shadow that threatened to consume them. As the darkness grew, the Rohirrim stood firm, their courage kindled by the flickering lights of hope that Gandalf had brought with him. Onward to victory, hope returns. Allies gather. A new day dawns. The free peoples of Middle-earth unite to defeat the forces of darkness. Join us next time as the Fellowship is reunited and the scouring of the Shire continues. Don't miss a single moment of this epic saga. Subscribe now and join the adventure.